going to film my Qatar groceries video again because I realized there was a lot of information that wasn't on there the first time. So I'm going to show you my groceries in a minute, but before I do, just be aware that 3.6 riyal is $1 American dollar. If I am estimating how much something costs, I will be thinking of it in terms of American dollars, even though I am Canadian. It's just what I'm used to now. So one thing I find interesting about people who live in Qatar is some of them, not all of them, but some of them will complain about the price of groceries. Personally, I don't get it. But then again, I eat a lot of produce and I don't eat a lot of things that are packaged. And I also don't eat a ton of meat. And I think those are the two things that make things get expensive really, really quickly. Even so, you can certainly find meats that are on sale at any given time. And with produce, you definitely have to think about what is local, what is in season, and what is on sale. Alright, so this is what I bought today. Again, this cost about $120 or about 421 riyal. So this was of course a big ticket item here. You can see that is almost 12 riyal for these 3 little steaks here. They are from New Zealand. They are also halal. All of the meat here is halal. And we have some eggs here. I am a big fan of eggs. I'm going to check on my big long receipt and we'll find out. Oh, these were 20 riyal for 30 eggs. So if you want to buy something that's really cheap, filled with protein, this is a good choice. You can also find a lot of nuts at the grocery store and they will be comparable or less than the price of nuts at home. Olives are also amazing and delicious and there's lots of fresh varieties in Qatar. I did buy a jar of olives today, but these are just, standard. You can buy these pretty much anywhere in a Western country kind of olives. Now, if you decide to buy some imported packaged food like this that I already finished, this is going to cost you a pretty penny. Just like this cost me a pretty penny. This did. And I have another one of these salsas here. So just be careful with things like this. Buy the things that you absolutely really want and you really need, but don't go overboard. Alright, in terms of pre-made things, I have some fried chicken. I actually have not tried the fried chicken from Lulu before. That's like where I go shopping is at Lulu. But you can see that a roasted, I don't know, drumstick is 3 riyal 25, so about $1. And then I got 2 thighs. Yeah, there's 2 times, and that was 8 riyal. So I'll try that in a little bit. I also got 2 of these baba ganoushas. Super healthy, very delicious. Each one has about this much in it. Because there are different weights in each one, that's why they're not a standard price. Spices. You can find so many spices here. Sometimes if you're looking for a specific spice, you do need to search around before you can find it, but there are so many spices here because it's an Arab country, a lot of Persian influence. There's a lot of spices that they use in their own cuisine. This imported item, so it was a bit expensive. All right, let's just very briefly go through a bit of the produce. So here is some sliced sweet melon. This was 7 riyal. You can also get pre-made salads, and the pre-made salads cost, I think, around 10 riyal. This was not too badly priced. Yeah, we have a melon. I'm gonna move the beef over. Chilies, very mild, delicious. This is so many green onions. I want to show how big this is. Huge amount of green onions, less than $2. Amazing. Now cleaning items here, these are a little bit more expensive. I'll get back to the produce in a minute, but these might cost you a little bit more than they do back home. Yep, there's some cauliflower, also very cheap. This one was not super cheap. I forget how much, I think around 20 riyal offhand, maybe a bit more. Pears, look at this. It's a bag of eggplant for less than $1. 2 onions, there's the price. Some bananas. Apples, I don't know if I showed them yet. About 9 riyals, that's upside down. And I have some zucchini. Zucchini was on sale this week. And some button mushrooms. All right, just to talk a little bit about where all this stuff comes from. Our produce comes from around the world in Qatar. As somebody said, it's not called the Middle East for no reason. It is in the middle of a lot of things. And the thing about Qatar is it only produces 2% of its own food. Now, part of that is not Qatar's fault. It is a desert. There is so much sand here. In order to produce anything, they have to put so much desalinated water on the crops. That being said, there is produce that does come out of Qatar, especially right now. Although the season is kind of ending right now for Qatar produce. In the winter, there is broccoli, tomatoes, cauliflower, and a couple of other things that come out of Qatar. And there is actually a farmer's market where you can go buy all of that stuff. So, where does this produce come from? Let me go through here and I'll see what I can remember / what is actually written on the little labels, because sometimes the labels will tell you where it's coming from. So I have apples from Italy. I have some stuff that is from Saudi, stuff that is from Jordan. My pears are from Chile. My bananas, I think, are from the Philippines. My melon is from India. My mushrooms, I was confused because it kind of said the UAE and it kind of said Holland in the store. So maybe either one. I know that there are, or I should say the Netherlands. I know that there is produce that comes in from the Netherlands because I've seen it and I've bought it before. There's also produce that comes in from the UAE. As for the blueberries, I'm not sure where those are from specifically. I have bought blueberries before that have been from Argentina, that have been from Chile, that have been from the USA, and that have been from, I think, Spain. So there's a lot of stuff that is coming in from everywhere, and because there are so many people living here from around the world, I think that's one of the reasons why there are so many different choices in the produce that you can choose from. Now, the produce is not always the best quality produce ever, but you do just need to look around and be flexible in the things that you buy. And then sometimes if you're finding that you can't find something to the quality or standard that you like at one store, you just have to go to another store. Like a while ago, I wanted some watermelon and I got some at Lulu and it was horrendous. Now, I'd never had watermelon this horrendous from Lulu, but I just opened it up and all of the water from the inside of the watermelon just like spread out all over the counter and onto the floor, and then the inside texture was really spongy and weird. So I went over to Ansar Gallery and then it was fine. I found some watermelon that was very good. Now, of course, there are many items that I did not buy today. I will actually be putting the prices for those items, or some of those items, things like oil, sugar, flour, into the description box below, so make sure you look down there if you are curious. Also, I did buy some almond milk today. Almond milk costs 20 riyals for 1 liter, but I don't buy regular milk really that much or that often or at all, so that will be one of the things, among other things, in the description box below. So I hope that this was informative to you, and have yourself a good one. Bye bye.